Thanks for staying with us, everyone. Now, first up, government was forced to reverse the suspension of the price stabilization and recovery levy on fuel prices because of the IMF program conditionalities. That's according to Chief Executive of the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, Dr. Patrick Kwekufori. The reversal has resulted in some significant increase in fuel prices, with diesel reaching almost 15 cedis a litre. Dr. Ofori has been sharing his frustrations about the move on PM Express Business Edition.
I think I don't envy the government and what MPA recently tried to do by taking off the price tab.
And what is the communication as in the rationale behind it?
Clearly from my intel and what I gathered, because the headmaster is in town.
IMF?
IMF
is not happy with the
yes, you cannot, because you've submitted your revenue profile where you are going to generate all this from, and 3 months or so into the year, you come back and change a certain guaranteed or assured revenue stream that because either for whatever reason, because our boss wants to look good or his bosses or the government wants to look good, they decided to take something away, which necessarily expose that. We are,
But do you think it's a good thing? Because I would say it distorts your whole prices.
The planning, because within 24 hours, the prices have started shaking here and there. There are certain products that if you really are for, and you are signing up for COP, whatever, and all those treaties, then I don't see why we should have taxes or levies on LPG, for instance. I still have a strong view about why have subsidy for premise when you know you can't pay it and you are not even paying it on time, and then those who even imported the PMS, you've not been able to pay them. And if you are to look at the numbers involved with the subsidies that is provided for premise, it doesn't make economic sense.
It appears that the IMF is not happy with this whole thing being taken over, and that's why they had to bring it back. And that's what you picked up as well. But
yes, that is what I picked up.
But that is a major disruption for your business, as you said.
Well, joining me on Zoom is Professor William Sepra, who is Associate Professor of Finance at the Andrews University, to discuss this. Good afternoon to you. So it's becoming pretty clear why the government reversed the suspension of the price stabilization and recovery levy. Big Brother is in town and will not have any of that. Government wanted to look good. Is that the case?
Good afternoon, Daryl, and your viewers. I mean, if you ask me, I was surprised that MPA came out with that directive, all because they looked at the trend, noticing that the crude price was going up. Data shows that between April and June, with the exception of 2018, the trend has been that price of crude goes up. So that is the pattern established. Thereafter, it starts to come down. So I was surprised that they were trying to remove the levy. Indeed, if you look at the PCPEC program, which Ghana government signed up on with IMF, Objective 2 focuses on bringing fiscal operation and ensuring that there is public debt sustainability. The fiscal operation sustainability looks at the revenue side. So for government, NPA or government directive to take away this levy for a period of 3 months was going to bring a very big hole to the finances. And indeed, it could have sounded that we were not financially disciplined.
Oh, so, the government's reason for suspending the PSRL was so it will cushion the consumer. And so now that it has reversed it, the economists are worried that prices are going to go up, and that is going to affect inflation, impact inflation negatively. And so how does this help the economy if at the end of the day the consumer is going to suffer?
Well, if you look at the act or the decision by government, it was just for a short period, 3 months. I would say that it may be politically motivated because we are going into the campaign season. We are already in the campaign period. But should we focus on long-term sustainability or the micro sustainability of the country, than the short-term decision by government to focus on the politics side. So, though inflation, as you mentioned, increasing the crude prices will cause inflation. But if you want to balance it with a long-term plan based on the PCPEC program, which will end in 2025, we should not do anything that will have a major impact so that we will not be able to achieve the set targets. The 3 months alone, if this had happened, it would have cost billions of cedis in terms of revenue loss to the state. And this would have also impacted on government infrastructural projects. So it is a balancing act that the government needed to do, and IMF has put government on the right path to make sure that this levy stays. We get the revenue to be able to recover. Don't forget that we owe a lot of people in terms of domestic debt and external debt, and we need these revenues to pay. So if you let it go off for 3 months, where are we going to get the money to pay these creditors?
And you say under the extended facility program, it will be difficult for any political party to eliminate the e-levy.
Yes. So I go back to the agreement, the 36 months external credit facility we've signed with the government, with IMF. The aim is to improve revenue, which is one of the key pillars of that program. The e-levy started slowly. We have not been in support of it, but from trend, we see the revenue going up, and it's a major part of the compliance program for Ghana government. Any political party that tries to delete or remove it totally means that we will not be able to achieve our set target, and which means that just after 2025, if we take e-levy out of the program, we may also enter into another IMF program again. That revenue stream is growing gradually, and though it has its own political implication, but it's something that we have to pay attention to it. My guess is there is room for adjustment based on when IMF technical team does their evaluation. They may ask government, you can have the right to probably reduce the rate or adjust the terms, or in terms of who will pay what based on some of them. But to take it totally out, I mean, it's going to bring a big hole. Meaning, any government who takes e-levy out will find another way to bring another tax component to replace that revenue lost.
And what would that look like? I mean, you're saying that we can't take off e-levy, we can't suspend a PSRL, and you talk about room for adjustments. How can that be worked out?
So the room for adjustment, normally IMF technical team will support the country to do detailed analysis and see if we are removing e-levy, is there another tax item that we can increase the rate to adjust to take care of the loss in e-levy. Off my head, we already have a tax on the telecommunication tax, the CIT that we pay. Initially, that had been my proposal that we should have increased that tax handle, the rate. It's also part of electronic transactions. Instead of having a new tax line called e-levy, that brought those confusion. So this is the other way around. We increase some tax rate for some of the tax lines, and then in that case, we will be able to take out e-levy. So whatever party comes into power, that is what is going to happen. They will find a way to increase one of the tax handles to take care of the revenue loss when e-levy is abolished. So it will be a disguise, but just that you will not see e-levy as a line item, but it will go into another tax handle to make up for the shortfall in revenue.
All right, Professor Williams Ripra, Associate Professor of Finance at the Andrews University. Thank you so much for speaking with us on The Marketplace.